Yes, we are live now. Good morning, everyone. Folk Weekend Oxford. Lovely to perform for you again this year. And we are Olga Meadows, George Haslam, and Tatiana Soloviova. We are going to invite you today to listen to songs from around the world. Well, from at least 5 countries and 3 continents. And a variety of languages, just to introduce something different. And the piece we are starting with is a Russian song about vagabond traveler from the Lake Baikal. And it's in the style of Johnny Cash, because it's a prisoner who has done his time, a political prisoner has done his time, and he is traveling back home. So Johnny Cash used to be called country and western. I suppose we could be called country and eastern. So по диким степям Забайкалья, Russian folk song. And just to add that I'll be doing folk singing, and Olga and George here are going to add a touch of jazz. По диким степям Забайкалья, где золото моют в горах, бродяга судьбу проклиная, тащился сумой на плечах. Бродяга судьбу проклиная, тащился сумой на плечах. Бежал из тюрьмы темной ночью, за правду долго страдал. Бежать больше не было мочи, предел расстилался Байкал. Бежать больше не было мочи, предел расстилался Байкал. Thank you very much for listening. And our next song is called Dark Eyes. Not very much to explain or to translate here. A song of love and devotion. And it's all about the eyes. The dark eyes. черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные. Как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидел вас я в недобрый час. Ах, не дадут глубины темней, вижу траур вас по душе моей, вижу пламя вас, я победная, сожжена на нем, сердце бедное. Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные. Как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидел вас. Thank you very much for listening, and we are moving on. Still staying with the country and Eastern, another song from Russia in the traditional style, and George will speak more about it.
A little.
A little, yes, because there is a connection with England.
Thank you, Tatiana. So this is sort of this song has a history in folk music and jazz. It was originally composed in Russia under its title of Moscow Night, but became very well known in the West when recorded in 1961 by a jazz trumpet player called Kenny Ball with his jazz band. They recorded this, made a sort of a swingy version of it, and they called it Midnight in Moscow.
Yeah, I can only add that it became popular during a youth festival in Moscow in 1955, and then it sort of became really popular in other countries, but particularly in China. And I've got a Chinese pupil whose mother sings this song, which became the favorite song of the Chinese president at the time, or whatever he was, not the president, who Mao was. Yes. So, Midnight in Moscow, or Moscow Nights. And George starts with a saxophone solo. движется и движется, вся из лунного серебра, песня слышится и слышится в эти тихие вечера. Песня слышится и слышится в эти тихие вечера. Рассвет уже все заметнее, так, пожалуйста, будь добра, не забудь и ты эти тихие подмосковные вечера. Не забудь и ты эти тихие подмосковные вечера. Thank you very much. Our next song is, well, I suppose I should say from Australia. The Carnival is Over. It was the first song from Australia by the Australian group The Seekers, who topped the charts in the United Kingdom and in the United States of America. And this was their signature song, The Carnival is Over. Tom Springfield, who composed this song, never made a secret of the fact that he simply took the Russian song and worked with the melody. The words have been inspired by Carnival in Rio de Janeiro, and the poetic idea is very simple. Sailor has to go back and he says goodbye to his lover. Original Russian song goes back to the 17th century, and it's a bit more tragic, I'll say. It's about a famous uprising in Russia in the 17th century, and it's called Stenka Razin. That was the name of the rebel who led the uprising. And, well, it's much sadder because, of course, he knows he's going to lose his life, and he says goodbye to his lover. So it's all about goodbye, my love. The carnival is over. Say goodbye, my own true lover, as we sing a love song. How it breaks my heart to leave you. Now the carnival is gone. High above, the dawn is waking, and my tears are falling rain. For the carnival is over. We may never the joys of love of feeling for dear old Columbine. Now the harbor light is calling. It will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die. Thank you very much. That was The Carnival is Over, traditional Russian tune, Tom Springfield and Seekers. So our next song is Spanish and it's a saxophone solo. So I'm going to ask George to speak a little bit about this lovely tune.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, we're going to Spain. Now we're leaving Russia for a while, yeah? Going to Spain, and this is a Spanish ballad written back in the 19th century. It's called La Paloma, the dove, and it's actually reputed to be the most widely recorded Spanish song ever. So there you go, we got one more today. It was particularly, and still is particularly popular in Mexico, where it's been played a lot. And if you saw the film, the Magnificent Seven, which was sort of set in Mexico, you would have seen this song featured there, La Paloma.
Thank you, George. another song in Spanish, although it's more associated with Mexico, the song Cielito Lindo, originally Spanish, but it has become almost a national anthem of Mexico. And it's called Cielito Lindo, which means my little darling. Is it a love song? Well, maybe it is, but it's more about the message. And the message is keep singing, and singing will drive all your sorrows away and will make your heart happy. And that's why we love this song, don't we? So, Cielito Lindo. De la sierra morena, cielito lindo, goza la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que ni me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque contando se le Thank you very much. I must say that this song, though it's Spanish, I heard it as a child in Russia. It was used in a Mexican film which was broadcast in Russia in 1950s. And my grandmother absolutely loved it, and she used to sing it when she was ironing or doing some housework. So it was in Russian language that I first heard this song, and I loved it. And later on in life, I learned it in Spanish. So that was Cielito Lindo.
So you lived in Russia as a young girl, yes?
Yeah, I did live in Russia as a young girl. I never left Russia till 24.
So you've been in England? How long have you been in England?
Oh, for a long time now. I've been, well, as a student first at Oxford University, and then I got married to my husband.
Yeah.
And this is actually probably time to speak about our backgrounds. Olga, he is a classical come jazz pianist, but she also knows many languages, and she works as a translator as well as a musician. So my background is history, and that's how I came to Oxford. I did my PhD.
You came here as a student?
Yeah, I came here as a student, yes, and I did my PhD on religious history of England. So history and theology is my background, and musically I come from sacred chants, sacred singing. You probably can hear that we represent concoctions of styles here. And George, I believe, with his lovely saxophone, is a physicist, and for many years you worked as an experimental physicist.
40 more years ago.
40.
More than 40 years ago, I was a research scientist.
Research scientist. Okay, so, and working for the government. Oh, you could have been accused of meddling with Russian spies or whatever. So, shh, okay. So, but now you're a saxophone player, which is much safer. Music doesn't know boundaries.
Well, I always was I was a saxophone player before I was a scientist, but
okay.
I kept that going through all the time. Yeah.
So George says that he kept his saxophone all his life. That was an accompaniment to your life.
Yes.
Lovely. So there we go. This is, by the way, the first time that we are performing together, Olga, George, and me, Tatiana. And I hope it won't be our last time together. And we represent sort of crossover styles. You might call it country and distant or whatever it is. And now we are going to sing an Italian song, because we are looking, it's a wonderful Saturday morning. We were supposed to be outdoors, but we chickened out of that because it's quite chilly. And so Santa Lucia is a traditional Italian song from Naples. And Santa Lucia, of course, is a big figure in the Christian Catholic Church, but in our case, Santa Lucia is a name of the bay in Naples. And the song is about the beauty of nature and the joy of being on a boat at sea. So, Santa Lucia.
Santa
Thank you very much, Olga.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening. And
Russian song.
well, Olga suggests we do the Lake Baikal song. Just for those people who may not have heard it before. So it's our country and eastern style, sort of following in the footsteps of Johnny Cash, who is a famous American country singer, as you know, and he used to sing a lot about prisoners and their lot and how they would like perhaps the life to be different. So this is the parallel story in Russian folk. So this particular prisoner, he was a political prisoner. The song says to us that he suffered for the truth a long time. So he's now coming back home through the vast steppes in Baikal region, and he's singing a song, and the wind is singing with him. По диким степям Забайкалья, traditional Russian song with George Haslam and Olga Meadows.
Tatiana.
And me, Tatiana Soloviova. Thank you for listening. That's going to be our last song. По диким степям Забайкалья, где золото муют в горах, бродяга судьбу проклиная, тащился с умой на плечах. Бродяга судьбу проклиная, тащился с умой на плечах. Бежал из тюрьмы темной ночью, за правду он долго страдал. Бежать больше не было мочи, пред ним расстилался Байкал. Бежать больше не было мочи, пред ним расстилался Байкал. Thank you very much, all of you who listened, and thank you for George and Olga.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a lovely day, take care, and our warmest wishes to all of you. Thank you, bye-bye.